Hey everyone, it's me, Jacob here. Um, also, I got a little bit of some crazy hair going on right now, just because I did have a hat not too long ago, so might be a little staticky. Anyway, no further ado. It has been a long time since we've been on live. Uh, we've just been doing a lot of some personal stuff throughout the time. Um, just been busy lately, but however, I will not veer away from my lovely viewers. So, if you guys are wanting to listen in, this is the Aqua or Aquarius, if you might put it that way, live session for the reading. So if you are a Aquarius, either from our channel or from a incomer, feel free to join on in. So what I picked up intuitively before our live began, there is someone which is your person wanting to make a return. And not in the way of wanting to hurt you or devastate you, but in a way where they want to return and make amends to what they have done in the past. So if you are resonating with that is going to be the energy flow of what the reading is. You don't have to. Maybe you can take in certain parts of the reading, but it is for what aligns with you the best for what comes out. So while that is happening, then there is the third party. The third party is trying to barge in, trying to get whatever they can before they walk out, all happy, all achieved. It's someone who thought that they won the war, but they did not win the battle. Or if you might put it the other way, maybe they won the battle, but they never won the war. You know, where it's like, for example, like, maybe they stole a book, but then they look at the book and they're like, oh shit, that's not the right book. Or if they stole the book, maybe they're laughing that they have the book, but there's nothing personal inside that book. There's nothing personal that is within it. You, Aquarius, have something a little bit hidden up your sleeve with that person. But anyway, let's go ahead and see through tarot cards what comes out. What comes out for our lovely Aquarius? Something that would maybe like to be confirmed, something that would like to be brought out, something that had already happened, that maybe the Aquarius have been getting intuition from for a long time, and would like to know if it's not only just the intuition that they receive, but also as well as for what it is happening in the public. So we currently have the World. The World came up right side up. Basically, it's like, like, it's not like there's demons on the inside of you or surrounding you energetically. It's more like they're physical demons. they're physical demons, like people that have taken on the aspect of demonship to somewhat alter your movement, your alignment, your work. You know, somebody who wanted to throw you off balance, somebody who wanted to throw you off the throne. That is basically what the world is about, mainly. Doesn't have to be necessarily those words, word for word, but it is most likely someone who is leaving leaving the sight, the perspective, the viewpoint of someone who's been demonic in your life, somebody who's been demonic in that person's life. Um, the person who's in the very middle, the person who's in the very middle, that person is resembling you, Aquarius. That one right there in that circle, that right there is you. But however, these people on the outside of the circle, they are the people who want to barge in. They are the people who want to get themselves acquainted with you. People who are maybe they try to acquaint themselves with you, but maybe haven't gotten anything personal from you. So it's basically somebody who is like, oh my gosh, the Aquarius is doing this. The Aquarius is going on a roller coaster. I'm supposed to be on that roller coaster. Somebody who is like got kind of like a dreaming lust for you, where it's like, all they can do is just dreaming the lust, where they're just like, oh my gosh, I wish the Aquarius could do that. But however, that is that there's like a fine line to it, where it's just like, if it was your person, and maybe they're just like maybe having a little bit of some lusting going on, then you might get the chance of like, all right, I know exactly what's going on, kind of a thing. um but other than that, it's basically just like, you know you have to figure out, like, you know the energy of your person, if you haven't done so already, you know because here's the thing: the people who haven't done it, who haven't seen who their person was, they have to beat the system of where the demons are trying to latch on, where the demons are trying to claw at you. So that's what's going on, where it's like you have to beat that system. You have to beat that system of repeatedly being clawed at, repeatedly being attacked, repeatedly being marked by the devil himself. You know, and you Aquariuses are way better than the demon, way better than the devil. You know, you are of the positive energy. You're positive energy. You know, and you might exude maybe just like maybe a little bit of some masculine energy. So it could be more dominant energy, because the masculine has like this dominant energy within themselves. It's like that's like the nature of masculinity. The femininity is more serene, more nurturing, more upholding. So that is what each sides are. But however, here's the thing: there are some people out there who want to twist their you know their gender, their sex appeal, if you might put it that. But however, just know that everyone who has been born a man will always be a man. Everyone who has been born as a woman will be always a woman. There is nothing that will change you from that. There is nothing that will change you from that nature. There is nothing that will be there to destroy you from that perspective. That is what was given from God Himself. That was given from the All-Father. But anyway, let's go ahead and see anything else alongside the world that would like to come out for the Aquarius before we move to the same energy for the Aquarius person. Look, this is something that maybe you could be picking up energetically, something that you could be picking up intuitively, telepathically, so on and so forth. But this is basically about like you seeing basically not just what is happening in the here and now, but also as well as something that could be about to be stated in the future. Like, look at that right there. Look at that right there. The Eight of Cups in the reverse. So it is resembling like somebody who could be at one point in time wanting to walk away from you. Somebody who is like maybe they wanted to be somewhere else rather than alongside you, where it's like, maybe they could be listening to everything that you're saying, but also at the same time kind of like, well, like, for example, maybe you're over in Indiana and somebody that your person is thinking about is like all the way out in Alabama. It's like somebody who is over in Massachusetts, and you're over there over at Massachusetts with them, but it's like they're thinking about somebody who's all the way out towards like Wisconsin. It's like somebody who is just like so far like out in left field, somebody who is away from the here and now, that is returning back and saying, "Oh, Aquarius, I'm sorry. Please forgive me." That's what this card is about. It's somebody when it's in the reverse, it's somebody that's coming back and saying, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I done something completely wrong." Like somebody who could be possibly coming at the moonlit time, or it could be somebody who maybe tried to leave at moonlit time, but is now coming back at daytime, coming back and saying like, "Hey, Aquarius, I'm sorry," But however, it is something very meaningful this time. It's not going to be like them trying to downplay you, somebody who's trying to like act like, they're better than thou. It's someone who maybe used to have thought that way. maybe somebody who thought that they were of that energy in a way where they're better than not just the other people around them, but also you yourself. Maybe they thought that they were like the gleaming star of it all, kind of thing. So yeah, that's what the Eight of Cups in the reverse is about. Is like somebody who used to have been the shining star on a recorder or um, some kind of video of some sort. Anyway, um, my hair is getting all a little wild right now. It's like dipping down a little bit. Um, and yes, if any of you have seen me the last time in the live, my hair was pretty short. I'm trying to see if I can bring my hair back to being long again, but see if I can, try to see, um, the basics, the things that I can try to do for maybe styling the hair while it's long. Kind of like that, but I don't have to. It's just in case if you guys have that question or thought. Anyway, let's see what comes out after the Eight of Cups for the Aquarius's energy. Okay. We got some cards going. So that ultimately comes in where somebody ends up making their decision. Either if they want to drop it all and walk away, or basically come to you and say, "Hey, Aquarius, I want to really be with you. I've done something wrong in the past, and I'm sorry, but I want to be with you, Aquarius." That's what this card is about when it comes to the flow of what's coming out right now. Either that, or maybe if you don't align with that alignment of information, maybe somebody could be like looking at their piece of work that they're going through, and maybe that's how they're doing this, where it's just like they're trying to figure out, like, is that mine? Is that mine? Is that mine? It's like somebody who's flipping through pieces of paper, like kind of just like looking through their notes, going like, all right, is this one mine? Is this one mine? Kind of like that, where it's just like they're like trying to search for something that to them went missing. That's what it is. Somebody who feels like something went missing. Somebody who feels like, oh, interesting. Okay. So me personally, I am an Aquarius. Before I get this information out, that will probably shock you or surprise you, if you might put it that way. But I am an Aquarius. I am I think it was a January 26th, Aquarius. So if you guys maybe resonate with that, or maybe are from that day, feel free to comment down below about like maybe saying that you're an Aquarius too, or maybe you're you either have your own day, or maybe um, if you align with the day that I'm personally born, and you say like maybe you were born during that time, but maybe from like another year. But anyway, look at this. This is what came out after the Two of Swords, and this is what I'm going to say to you guys about the situation is that with the Two of Swords and the King of Pentacles in the reverse, um, basically with these two together, because they did flip out at similar times with each other. Um, Somebody could be like dreading that, like what they did in the past basically basically stole their money. What they did in the past basically made them become broke. What they did in the past made them lose all their money, made them lose all their resources, made them lose something. But it was kind of like they had to decide, like, do they want to continue losing money and continue having conflict, or do they want to come back to you, fix the conflict, and also as well maybe even state something that you, Aquarius, have been waiting for so long. But anyway, that is what I picked up. That was um, in the energy of what was, like something that needed to be confirmed for you, Aquarius, or maybe something that needed to be stated as if you know you needed someone to say it for you to affirm it. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what else is there when we move over towards what your person is bringing forth in this situation at this time frame, the past energy. Oh, okay. We got somebody wishing upon a star for you. It could be maybe something that maybe your person did in the past with you that maybe they're reminiscing about. They could be looking up into the sky, seeing the stars, and maybe they locked on onto your star alignment. Maybe they locked on onto something about you, and you're just like, you could have this like deep feeling of like, okay, now I know my person's in my energy and is trying to figure out something, or maybe is now just finally feeling me, um, or maybe this could be if you put it in this side of things, maybe maybe they saw something in your eyes before you left, where it's like when you looked at them, it's like their eyes were starting to lock onto your eyes, and it's like your eyes glimmered a little. But however, maybe you walked off, and your person's like, maybe have their finger up to the lip, maybe having their finger, um, you know, maybe somewhere, hopefully. But I am getting something about their finger. Um, they could be thinking about you heavily, because it's like, you know, with the star, it could be not just like physically the word the star, but it could be like what the card is resembling, which is like all about the Aquarius, their attributes, their techniques, things like that. That's what the star is about. And look inside the card, the star. You see how like you know the person that the star is aligned with in terms of going from worldly to a human being. It's like you, Aquarius, could be pouring like either energetic water or it could be like physical water. And it's like your person could be dreaming about you doing that. So, yeah. Let's see. Is there anything that goes alongside the star that your person is maybe feeling, doing, saying, acting upon that is within the Aquarius's energy? Let's see. Oh, okay. Although looks like our guys are kind of talkative today. It might have been a little too much. Although there were some that did come out that were in that massive pile that did make sense. Um, there was the Three of Swords and the Ace of Wands. Maybe they could be bringing up like uh, the um, the heartbreak that they went through about you. But anyway, the two cards that came out that are of resonance to what you're going through after the star energy on your person's energy flow is this one right here, the Four of Cups. Um, and I'm feeling like it's something that your person had to burn off. Um, the Four of Cups had to be burned off. It's something that need to be let go of, so then they can maybe travel to you. Um, because it's kind of like they were sitting and pouting and wondering like you know like they could be saying like, man, this is not fair, man, this is not true. Like they could be losing their ever loving mind about them finding out that their connection is actually you. You know, they find out that somewhere deep inside them, they're in love with you, and it drives them crazy. It's kind of like somebody that has a pout face. Like like or if not a pout face, maybe just like an angered face, like somebody who's just like, I don't want to be a part of this. But it's like, God's coming in, going like, hello, hello, something's coming through, hello. And also, even not just God, but even their guides. Their guides are even saying it. They're like, come on, this is from God. Hello. And they're like, it's not God sent. No. But however, their modern side of the past energy, it's like now they're really unraveling it. Now they're realizing how they feel about you. Now they're realizing their connection to you. Things like that. It's like they had to take the elongated break just to be with you. Look at that. This card came out alongside the Four of Cups. So this is the Page of Wands for anyone who is not familiar with the tarot. Um, the Page of Wands is basically like, you know, with it coming out after the Four of Cups and the Star being all that together, it's like the Page of Wands is referring to possibly your person kind of just like it's giving me somebody who's like front and center with you, like where it's just like maybe they forced themselves to be front and center. It's like they could be shaking to the core of their bones, but it's like they know that like if they walk away, that it's that stance of them, walking away from you is just going to make things even harder and make things even worser. So it's like they step in front of you and they're like, you know, they could be stating to you that like, they could be like, Aquarius, I'm sorry. Like they could be still like continuing to say sorry, but it's like, while they're saying sorry, it's like they're you know, got this energy of like frog face. For anybody who could be from the military, or maybe just got the energy of being in the military, or maybe somebody who is just like maybe they feel very warrior-esque, either a warrior or a warrioress, depending on you know the gender of that person. Um, also, I am seeing in this picture, you see the sand that's all around here. Maybe they could have caught like a phrase that you said, or maybe they received energy from somewhere, where it's kind of like maybe they could be stuck in sand. Quicksand. Okay. So somebody is stuck in quicksand. That's what the energy is going through, because there's like the majority of it is like a yellowish sand or an orangish sand, but like the rest is like brown and red and tan and things like that. It's like those colors are like where the quicksand is, and they're like looking around going like, I don't want to step in this quicksand. But here's the thing: the quicksand is basically a metaphorical, or like a statement that the sand is bringing out, like a message that it's bringing out, um where it's like, you know telling your person like, if you choose to suffer, you'll suffer for the end of the days. If you choose to live the rest of your days with this with your person, then you'll live the rest of the days with your person, and you won't end up falling into those quicksand areas. You know, that's what the Page of Wands is about. It's like it's somebody who is like finally finding it within themselves um to basically say something to you, to basically um show you something, possibly, depending on how that occurs. Um, I also am getting like they have a little bit of some worry, thinking that like if they go along with you, then they won't have anywhere to go in case if they feel like if you and your person don't click, you know. But however, it's kind of like something that got stuck within themselves, where it's kind of like they got stuck with a thought process, got stuck with something that should have never been realized or should have never been taken in. Where it's like maybe their thought process is like it is like kind of behind case, where it's like you know you're ahead of the case while behind the case is your person, and your person's like is like, oh my god, I need to figure out something. I need to know how to get to my person, you know. But anyway, while that is occurring, because I feel like there's one more card to come out for your person, which yeah, that one. Yep. Mm-hmm. They're gonna find out that you're the light of it all with the sun card. I like the sun card is showing like not like what it's personifying you as, but it is showing you that you're the one with the light, and it's like your person's like you know creeping towards it, like as if like how you guys would like read fable stories, how there's like fictional stories out there, like for example Harry Potter, or for example you know it could even be as much as the more you know modern story, the fantastical beasts, you know um basically just like this is giving me kind of like you have this siren voice, or maybe like how like in like a fantasy story where like there's this satyr creature kind of like playing on the harp in the middle of the forest, and it's just like playing, and the one of the characters is like, do you hear that music? Where's that song coming from? And they go chasing after the song, and they find out that it was you. It was you all along. So, and it wasn't just like through like somebody who just like, you know, they know for a fact who's playing that music. It's someone who is curious of who's playing that music and trying to figure out what that music is coming from. But it's like you have your person has like no collective thought, no understanding of who's playing that music whatsoever. Like they don't have any conscious thought, they don't have any unconscious thought, and so on and so forth. So they could be really connected to you, but it's like their vision of who's playing the music or who's doing this like special thing, they find out that like they come up to you and they're like, you're doing the music, you're the one doing the music, and they just like maybe some of you guys may have your person kind of back up and be like, wow, I didn't even know you were that talented. Or maybe some of you guys could be like, maybe your person ends up like coming closer after they see you and they acknowledge that you're the one doing the music. Maybe they come up close and they're like, they spill something very sincere about themselves to you, something that you wouldn't really recognize. Maybe they come up to you and possibly kiss you. Or maybe they might come up to you and, you know, maybe they, you know, grab your hand and, you guys go running up upon like a field of wheat or something like that, at that where it's like, maybe you could be going through a farm of some sort, a very, very dense, very long farm. Or maybe you could be going through some kind of um, what is called a uh, ancient field, like where maybe if you're from China, if you're from Japan, if you're from um, if you're from Vietnam, if you're from Laos, Cambodia, um, Philippines. Just really depends if you're from that region or if you are maybe over along the Americas. Also, I'm getting as well as Africa. Maybe just a little tad with Europe, but not much places in Europe has that type of a thing where it's like you go through a field full of like just beautiful flowers, beautiful plants. It's just like you're running with them in the sunlight. You guys are having the blast of your guys' life, and maybe it's like that thing where you know for a fact that it came from a love fantasy where it's just like you guys collapse and maybe you guys have your lovers thing with each other. But you know I feel like it's not like something where it's much of like a ploy. I feel like it's something more positive aligned than a ploy. It's more something that it's kind of like something has been eating your person alive, and it's just like they finally realize it. They finally realize that you are their person, and now they are coming to you to show you how they feel. Anyway, anyone who is dealing with a third person while this is happening, or maybe if a third person's trying their best to barge in, can we get that? All right. This one is going to be a hefty one. All right. So we have first the King of Wands. Somebody who could have maybe have tried and tried and tried to get information on you. Um, it's kind of like somebody who's like sitting at their chair, like clenching under a table, or maybe they could be, maybe you're in another room and they have the direct line of sight of you, and they could be clenching behind that wall. Wow, there's like that big opening. you know? It's somebody who's like clenching, like really, really hard, like to the point where it's like you can literally see blood dripping from their hands. But look, Three of Wands. They venture away from that, where it's like they venture away from grasping their hand, clenching their hands into fists, like really, really deep, hard fists. And it's like they, look at, who's around them because they find out that, the third party finally, finds out that the Aquarius is moving on, that the Aquarius is, walking away from this third party. But here's the thing: the Aquarius was never ever attached to the third party. The Aquarius was never ever connected to the third party. The Aquarius was never ever um, in love with the third party. So the third party ends up looking elsewhere, and guess what? This third party finds out that they were looking at the wrong person this entire time. They were looking at the wrong person this entire time. And now they are on their way towards their real person. This is what the third person is doing, is that they're now going to their real person, the person that they were supposed to go to. And guess what? They might start juggling a little bit, but their sighting of their person gets the better of them. And then they're like, hey, do you wish to be with me? That's what this Ace of Cups is saying. It's kind of like somebody who's been in the shadows while the third party is like trying their ever so hardest to be with you. It's like they look at this person off the side, in a different direction from you, and it's like they look at them and they're like, you know what? I think the Aquarius was right. I think I should have been with this person here. That's what the Ace of Wands, Ace of Wands. Maybe you could be seeing some Ace of Wands coming from this, where it's just like somebody who's like, "Hey, I got this big, I'll have some fun, like somebody who's just spreading around, like, trying to have fun with every single person in the world, rather than like actually being with their person." But anyway, guess what this third person is going to figure out? When they connect with their person, here comes their third parties. Here comes their third parties. Come whooshing on in. And something that they have been having for so long, even if it was, in the front of the face of you, it dies. It's like, they find out that what they did to you in the past was not cool. They find out that, when they kept trying to like, shake you and pull you and try to get you to want to love them, it's like they find out that They were the chaotic one. They were the one who was doing the most. And I'm gonna say, with the air quotes, the most. You know, where they're like, come on, come with me, Aquarius. Hey, have this drink. Have this food. Write this paper. Like they're just like, come on, Aquarius, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. They're trying to get in a stance of forcing your hand to do something, and you just went like this to their face. You're just like, talk to the hand. And basically, they walk up and they're like, fun. And basically, maybe it gives me this like knowing that like maybe the voice of your person changes, where it's like maybe they could be like they go from like, you're no fun, to like yeah, do that, like somebody who goes from non-attached to like really attached, like somebody who is like, they go from 0 to 100 real fast. Anyway, the current date energy, let's go ahead and get that for the Aquarius, shall we? First card that popped out while I was saying all that, there was the Queen of Swords that popped out. This is resembling you as very, very kind, but also strict. So it's kind of like you came up to your person after they made their amendments to you, after they said, after they, gave you the "I'm sorry" note, or maybe if they haven't said it in person, maybe they said it like telepathically, saying like, maybe they, went to you and basically in spirit, or maybe in energy sense, they came to you and they're like, I'm sorry, Aquarius. And obviously you'll probably keep hearing that message until they finally upgrade from saying I'm sorry to the point where it's just like, now they feel like they are comfortable as a lover with you, in terms of no longer having enemies at the door, no longer having anyone that is going to attack them, where it's like you and your person are not just in a divine union, but also as well as very very, very well connected. That's what that is about, where it's like, once that occurs, it's like, maybe you might be a little stern, but it's like you're also at the core of that sternness very kind, because kindness is your nature, Aquarius. Kindness is what you are, Aquarius. You've always been kind, always will. Oh, Natasha. Hello, Natasha. I haven't seen you in a little while. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Anyone who else else would like to join in besides our lovely Natasha, feel free to join on in. Anyone who is the binge watcher of our channel, anybody who is maybe brand new to the channel, so on and so forth. Yeah. So, while the Queen of Swords is occurring for you, Aquarius, this is what will occur alongside that. Communication. A brand new chapter of the whole situation, where now all the chaos is finally out of the room. Natasha said, I'm good, thank you. I look... I took a tarot break for a little now. Yeah, I understand, like, it's kind of like you can listen into tarot, but I know there will be times where it's like maybe you just want like some rest, maybe you want like something to like maybe clear your head from anything that maybe if not, maybe I told you, maybe something that another reader had told you. I'm totally fine with that. If that's the case, then I am always welcome to that for you to have that happen. And I do care about my lovely viewers very well. And you guys have been very supportive lately, even more than what you guys were back then. So I do want to thank you for that. Also, we are getting close to our 300 subscriber mark. So if you guys are brand new and you would like to subscribe, feel free to subscribe. If you're watching this from the live field, and or if you watch it from the aftermath, feel free to go to that subscribe button and subscribe, and go to that top notification bell so you can enjoy what comes out next. Anyway, we have this right here, our lovely Four of Wands. Surprisingly, it went from the Eight of Wands to the Four of Wands. So Eight of Wands was like, your person has been very talkative, very wanting to see you and things like that. And it's like, it goes from that to like, they see you. They're viewing you as marriage type. They're viewing you as like, all right, well, there's more than just, a connection. There's more than just a alignment. There's also, a family with this. There's even like having kids. That's what this Four of Wands is about. Is like it's going from the talkative part to like the sincere part, where you start to figure out like, all right, what is our future going to be like? What are things going to look like in the future? That's what the Four of Wands is about. The Ace of Pentacles that came out after that. This one is all about like somebody who could be possibly put a ring on that finger, possibly. Someone who wants to possibly pop the question. That is going from the thought process of wanting to marry you to possibly asking like, hey, Aquarius, do you want to see a future with me? That's what that is. Or maybe they, instead of asking that question, maybe they might end up saying it in more like of this question, where it's like they say, hey Aquarius, you know, do you want to get married? And like uh maybe you're taken aback by it, but like in a positive way or in a happy way where it's like you're just like, really? You want to get married? Or maybe it's something that like, you hear and it's like you have that little like, or if not little, maybe big, like smile to your face, and you're just like, I could dig that. And it's like you guys go from curiosity of marriage to like, all right, we're marrying each other. It's said and done. We're gonna marry each other, and you guys like, not just become lovers, but you also become you know future husband and wife, if not one already. If you are a husband and wife with your person, then it could be something that maybe needs to be said, that hadn't been said yet between the two of you, something that you've been waiting for, or something that your person has been waiting for. Depending on which, or depending on who's the one, saying it, which the one is hearing it. But anyway, with your person, this card had popped out, but it was in the reversed show of it all. So your person could be, excuse me, your person could be in the stance of um, basically just like no longer no longer stuck, you know, in terms of stuck in a really bad energy flow where it's like, you know, the bad things that they have taken in are no longer going to affect them, that they are moving on from those evil things, that they are doing something better for themselves, doing something that is truly aligned to them. Where it's basically like, you know, in their energy, it's like, they are going from, them, you know, coming over to you and asking you to like, all right, I asked my question. Now all the demons, all the devils, all the darkness, the bad stuff that I took in over the few years that I was separate, and the few years that occurred before that very point in time. Now I'm finally getting better. Now I'm finally changing for for the best. That's what the Four of Swords in the reverse is about. Is like, you're no longer in your bed. You're no longer in your chair. You're no longer in your sofa. You're no longer somewhere where you're just, browsing and just kind of cozying up on something that is just blank air. That's what the Four of Swords is about in the reverse. Also, might turn out that we might have very little amount of cards come out for your person. Let's see. Yep. Mm-hmm. Depending on if you're a masculine or feminine, you could have the Empress card out that connects as you, Aquarius, or maybe instead of the Empress, it could be the Emperor. Either way you put it, but the words that come from this very card, the Empress, could be aligning to what you are within yourself, Aquarius. You could be very um, knowledgeable, very leadingful. But however, I feel like it's not like you're going to a group and you're like, hey, can I lead this group? It's more like you're it's kind of like um there's like a star alignment compared to a shooting star. This card right here is referring to a shooting star, someone who is basically um leading even if there's no one in front of them, even though there's no one behind them, even though there's no one side by side by them. It's like they're leading no matter what. And the Page of Swords also came out. Somebody could be like maybe in the past very aggressive against it. They're like, maybe they had that energy of like, oh, come on, Aquarius, why are you teaching absolutely no one? But however, your person is on the exact opposite end of that, where it's like instead of them trying to attack you in terms of phrases that they say or maybe actions that they do to you, it's like they come over to you and they say, "Keep going, Aquarius. Keep doing you. This is exactly what I see from you." That's what that is about. Um, where it's like maybe they could be swinging their sword to you, going like good job, Aquarius, keep going, you're doing great. That's what the Page of Swords now is telling, is where it's saying keep it going, like a cheerleader, somebody who is just you know go Aquarius, go Aquarius, go Aquarius, go Aquarius. And then they do the usual cheerleader thing where it's like, give me an A, give me a Q, give me a U, give me an A. Like they just keep going and going, and it's just like they get so hyped about rooting for you. And then there's this. This is what is within your person, Aquarius. It's like before they officially make it a thing where they put the ring on your finger. It's like they could be holding on to the ring and being like, they'd be like, someday I'll put a ring on that finger. Like they're rolling around the ring, going like dreaming about you, thinking about putting the ring on you, things like that. Having a having this amazing marriage with you, things like that. That's what the Queen of Pentacles is bringing out today for not just you to take in, but also for to put in the energy of what your person is going through in this very life. So then maybe not only will you be able to hear it, but maybe once your person comes to you in person and does that, if they haven't gotten uh, in connection with you in terms of wanting to be with you, things like that. It's like they come in and they could be like feeling the box that the ring is in, and or maybe they have it in their pocket and they're clutching the box, and they're like uh in deep thought going like, man, I really wish I could just give this to my person. And when they refer to their person, it's like they refer you as their person at this very point in time, rather than what they were referring as their person in the past. Anyway, let's go ahead, cut through the here and now energy of the third party. Anybody who may be curious of what the third party has going on for themselves in terms of maybe just confirmation, clarification, so on and so forth. Yep. Now they find out about something very particular about themselves. Now they find out that something in very particular is about to break within them. This third party. They're going to find out that something within them is going to break. Something within them is going to burst upon something. Is going to lose control. Like somebody that's like, "Ah!" And just like everything just scatters all over. And that's when they find out who they truly are. They go from connecting to their person, going crazy about something, to, oh, so that's what I really was at the deep level. So they could be a very, very young Leo. They could be possibly somebody who has this like lion energy. Somebody who just like would not give a heck about who the heck they roar to. They're like, if somebody fights them on something, they're like, rah! But like their guides, their spirit guides, they're the angels that have been veering them away from doing that. They're like, no, 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 don't do that. They're like pulling along the reins. They're closing closing the mouth shut of the lion. They're like, they're like, don't roar at that person. And then they find out like now they're all loosey goosey. Now they can move around. Now they can do something about about their life. That's what this card is about. The Fool card. After the Strength. So instead of them carrying a flower over to the Aquarius, now they're taking the flower over to their real lover, their real person, the person that has been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for so long for this person, this third party to show up. This gives me like somebody who is loyal to somebody who wasn't really loyal to them. Because it's like the third party was the disloyal person in the relationship between them and their actual person, but they find out that like, oh, so life is this way, not that way. So it's like somebody who just uh, does not take the hint, does not learn what really is true, does not take the nudge nudge, hint hint, like somebody who's just like, could be you know could be showing signs going like that to the third party, and the third party is like, no, 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 and basically they go over to their person this point in time, and they're like, oh, so this is what it's like somebody who is just like so dumb to the mind, so dumb. I mean, like somebody who is even dumb to the spirit, you know? Somebody's like, oh my goodness, I'm about to die, oh my God. And all of a sudden, God is like, get your ass up. And basically, at that point in time, it's like, this third party is like shaking off the grasp of God, and it's like, they're like, you're not God. I know exactly who you are. But like God is like saying, do you really know who I am? Do you really know who I am? And this third party is like, yeah, the devil. But the God is like, really? You're gonna call me a devil when I'm actually the Father? And it's like so big of an awakening to this person, so big of an awakening to this third party, something that they've been doing for so long finally breaks, finally bursts, and they finally realize like, oh, so that's what I've been doing all this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They find out the hard way. Because like it's literally somebody who goes like they walk away from the father, the all seeing father, and it's just like the all seeing father goes deep within them, energetically and communicatively, and is like wake up, and the person's like snapped out of it, going like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? So anyway, before I continue, we have our lovely heroic hero here. Thank you for being heroic. Heroic said, nice hair. Thank you very much. Yeah. And then, I almost forgot to show you this card. There was also the Hanged Man card. The Hanged Man card is what came out after the Knight of Wands. Um, it's like, this third party is starting to get the better knowing of what's going on. They find out like, oh, so that person way over there is my person. And it's like they go from agitated to like growingly like um red faced. Like they have like a red face of like their cheeks are blushing, they have this bright smile growing and growing, and it's just like they look at their person, and it's like that's what clicked for them. That's what moved into their mind of like, oh shit, that's my person there. And I feel like this is like either a woman talking to another woman, where it's like your person could be a woman talking to the third party, which is also another woman. So it's basically like they're both talking to each other, trying to tell like, "Hey, this is my revelation. Why don't you have your revelation?" But it's like it has to happen on their own very term. It shouldn't happen like somebody had a revelation, now somebody else has to have a revelation like uh, a minute after the revelation that a person had. It's like you know that's the real love. That's the real connection. That's the real alignment between two lovers. Yeah. Anyway, shall we get into the future energy for the Aquarius? See what comes out for that? What would like to come out for the future energy for the Aquarius? Heroic said, yes! But I know you probably didn't put in an exclamation point, but it did sound to me as if that, where it's like you're just like so happy and so full of excitement, But let's go ahead and see what would be the future energy of the situation for Aquarius, please. Okay. So, so this is going side by side with each other. Look at that. So I'm not going to do this separately. This is like something that is just like energetically together with both these cards side by side. So it's like, the third party finally finds out that like they were missing something. They find out that like, so I was missing that person. So it was kind of like they were so focused on you, Aquarius, that they didn't even look at that person. In terms of like connection, relation, things like that. Yeah. Yeah. You guys probably know what like the picture of the Seven of Pentacles and the Three of Cups picture is bringing about. Basically, it's like, you got this one person who's just like, kind of, raking, or maybe using a farm hoe. Not that hoe. Don't think about that hoe. The other type of hoe, like the old timey farmer hoe, like where it's just like, you got all the different types of yard work equipment. You got your rake, your shovel, your hoe, things like that. It's like there's someone that's like using that type of hoe on the ground. It's like they're chopping at something, maybe knocking out a plant to replant it, but like they don't know that that plant actually has something specific for them, has something um, interesting for them to take in for themselves. So it's like they are chopping at something that they don't even know quite yet about. And once they pry it up, they're like, "Oh shit, this is actually something I was supposed to keep in here." And the Three of Cups is kind of referring to like a coven, a group, a like a gathering of people that could be trying to have some kind of um, like similarity with each other, where it's like they gather and they're like, pointing the finger at someone. They're like, let's find something that goes up against that person, you know, and the group that goes like, yeah, let's go find something that goes up against that person. And they're like, walking away with this third party, but like your person already knows that you two, you and your third, you and your person are like both together. You and your person are connected. You and your person could be like looking each other in the eye and maybe having glistening eyes to each other. Where it's like that soulful love with each other. Mm-hmm. Guess who's acquainted? And I feel like it's like you were basically already acquainted like for years on end, but it was like maybe your person found out about something about themselves to lead them to being acquainted. And it's just like not only are they acquainted to you, but they're also acquainted to God Himself, to Jesus, as the Son, you know. Because it's basically like, God's father was like Yahweh, which is like the ancient belief, the the knowing that like the world's father was that person, while Jesus was our modern father, where it's like the son basically took upon the aspect of being a father to humanity, while the father that Jesus was born from, spiritually or cosmically, if you put it that way, that father was kind of like the father of not just the humans but the angels. He was the father of the angels. So, yeah. I'm seeing no other cards that will come out for the Aquarius energy for the future. Let's go ahead and see what would come out for Aquarius's person for the future. Let's see. That one, okay. Oh, okay. I'm seeing a little bit of like a travel with your person. Maybe somebody is getting to the stance of wanting to venture the world with you. Either if it's something that they wanted to go to, or if it was something that you were hoping to go to. And it's like you both like agree on the spot of where you want to go. Where it's like maybe your person says like, "Hey, let's go to this spot," or maybe if not, if it wasn't you, your person, maybe you say, maybe you're the one who says like, "Hey, I'm going to this spot. Do you want to come?" And they're like, "Oh hell yeah, I want to come along." And it's just like you guys go over to maybe another state if you're from the United States, or maybe you go from one country to another country, uh, depending on where you're at in the world. Where you're um, where your first departure comes from. You know. Ooh, okay, we got something. Got 9 of Pentacles. So 10 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles together. Not only is it just like travel, but it's like I see that like you guys are not only just gonna make it like a, like a nice little beach party or a nice little fun time with each other, but it's like you're also going to like create wonders for the world. It's like you guys are maybe if you guys have the alignment of being healers for the world, maybe you're going from one place to another healing people. Or if you guys are maybe of the intuitive reader type, maybe you guys could be doing card readings for people. Or maybe if you guys are of like, maybe if you're trying to build a community full of people that are, maybe needing food, maybe needing clothes, things like that. Maybe you could be doing that for people and being like, "Hey, look, we got a donation here if you guys want to be a part of it." Basically like community. That's what it is developing community. Whether if it is an online community, if it's a in-person community, if it is spiritually attuned community, it could be either which way of a type of community that you develop with your person. Let's see, any other cards that pop out for Aquarius' person in the future energy? That one. Okay. Uh-huh. So this did show me that this was going to be like in the reverse right here. The 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's kind of like instead of you or instead of your person being like, kind of clutching, kind of going like, I don't want to give this to my person. It's more like now it's more of a releasing rather than a grasping. So it's like it could either happen in either or, where it's like if you guys don't work out in the future, then it's it happens. I've seen it happen before. People kind of take on new energies within themselves, and they start doing this from their person. But in a way where it's like, instead of a instant runoff, it's like they talk with their person. They say, like, hey, I don't connect with you anymore somehow, and I just want to figure out what's going on. um, Give me some time to have a break, things like that. Or if it's not that, it could be like, instead of your person walking away from you, or you walking away from your person, it's like you both come in and collide, and it's like going from, instead of a curiosity of wanting to put a ring on your person, to like, you're already getting close to that moment of being married, where it's like you're just like, you got like this like yippee like energy, where it's just like, you're just so excited from the inside. That's what I'm getting from this, is like you're just like so excited. Or maybe your person could be that energy, where it's like they have that energy going on for themselves. um and they're uh like even subconsciously, clutching the ring box. Or maybe even if they do this, maybe they're just like, they maybe look around themselves, and while they're looking around, making sure no one's seeing you and them, it's like they're clutching the box right in front of you guys. And it's just like, you know maybe that gives you like the sense of like them thinking about you, that them having the curiosity of like, oh my gosh, you know i I would die to be with the Aquarius, in terms of, not just us being lovers, but us being as, husband and wife. you know it's like, there could be that. Then there's also like, maybe if you guys are already married, and already have a family life, it's like maybe your person is like reminiscing about like the time that they gave you their ring. Kind of like feeling the box, kind of just like maybe holding it in to themselves, kind of just like nuzzling up against it, in terms of like just happy that they're with you. You know. Um, but anyway, let's go ahead and get through to the future energy of the third party. Oh, and also, if you guys are brand new to this live session, and also channel, feel free to like our live. Feel free to send a comment down below in the comment section. Feel free to subscribe to our channel. Go to that top notification bell and be able to not only hear about what comes through in this live, but also in the future lives. And also, if you want, you can even listen in on some previous lives we've put out that may have aligned with you. Also, there is as well as a share button. So if you have anybody that you want to share to, feel free to share to anybody that you feel inclined to. That is either possibly even Aquarius with this very specific live, or even as well as anyone who may have that binge watch energy within themselves. But anyway, if any of you are wishing to head off because you're seconds away from being busy, feel free to. And I wish to see you the next time. To all of you who are heading out at this moment, anybody who is staying, feel free to stay. I won't force you to. Although this is very important and interesting information, but I will not force you to stay. So we do have on the third party's energy, we have the queen, the queen of cups right here. The queen of cups. They could be into like a water zodiac, possibly Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Either that, or maybe they could be a water sign zodiac. So that could be a relevance. Or if not, maybe they could have like this side of themselves where they're like crying their heart out, where they're just like, over in a corner crying hard. They're like, oh my goodness, why? But I feel like it is a good way for them. Not a bad way, but like they're crying in a good way. They're like tearing as if like they finally found their person. And or if not, maybe they venture away from their person, and they're after they walk away, they realize that like, oh shit, I should have not walked away, and they're like tearing up so hard, you know. Excuse me. Man. Somebody who is maybe what they really liked about their person was that they had this like emperor vibe to them. They're like kind of king like, but also as well very structured, very formal, very exuding of power. Then you have this, where this third party is like, rushing towards their person, and they're like, I'm coming for you. While they're driving and maybe sobbing and like, or maybe even like snuffling, coming from crying, and it's just like they're trying to have this race against time to come towards their person, and they could be going over to the person going like, I'm sorry, I had way too many nightmares about you. I'm sorry, I'm back. I'm back. And it's just like, I feel like there's something that keeps getting kicked around, um, where it's like, somebody keeps having nightmares about something. I feel like it's like a pinball machine where it's like, it goes from the third party to your person, to a friend of yours, to to a very guilty party. It's like it's going to different types of people, where it's like, it's like they get they get scared, and then after that they bounce it off, and they start feeling guilty, you know. And look at this, look at this, bottom of the card deck, Knight of Cups. This is an extracurricular card that I want to show you guys. So, and then also on the other end of the deck, there was this card, Ten of Cups. So I feel like somebody is rushing in on their love, the real love, and is about to have their future come flooding in, where it's like, it was quiet with some bats rustling, some crickets chirping, some lighting bugs flying around, lighting up, and then there's like this street light that pops on and blares, and it shows the scenery of what they see within themselves, what they see at the heart of their energy. So, yeah. Anyway, that was a quick tarot card session, but that is what is going to be coming out for you guys today about the card reading of the Aquarius. So, do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any queries, any comments, concerns whatsoever? While we are wrapping up, before we go, Heroic said, "Thank you." Yeah, I actually really, really liked this card reading. It was something that not only seemed like it helped you guys, but also did as well help me as well, because I personally am an Aquarius too. So, yeah, just know that I might be drawing it in myself while you guys are taking it in. So then I can align myself with it while things are going through energetically. But anyway, anything left over that you guys want to send as a comment in the comment section, or maybe any questions that you got while we're here still? Any queries? Any comments, complaints, concerns, questions, queries? So anyway, I am very happy to see all of you guys. Thank you very much for being here, Natasha. Thank you for being here, Heroic, for being here specifically during the live feed. Also, there were a couple of other people who joined in. I want to thank them for joining. Anyone from our aftermath, feel free to listen over, either if you were a part of the live feed or not, feel free to listen in. Also, as well as those who are currently at this very moment joining in, thank you very much for being here. And as well as those that are attending the aftermath, seeing the already recorded live. So anyway, with all that being said, just like I said, go ahead and feel free to hit the like button, go to that subscribe button, and go to the top notification bell so you can see everything that we put out as a community here on our channel. Also, there is a share button, so then you can be able to share to anyone that you feel would really like this live, that would not only just like the live, but also as well as maybe attend our channel and be a part of this. Also, we do have a comment section for any of you that are just joining in. So if you feel like you want to comment down below, feel free. Also, hopefully, I think somewhere around here, there should be a heart button around here. So if you want to hit that heart button, feel free to. That is to know, or let us know that you don't only just like the live, but you also have heavily and hugely loved this live. And then there is a emoji slider. So if you want to go to that emoji slider before the live ends, feel free to slide around it. Drop as much emojis that is at your heart's content or intent, if you put it that way. Go crazy if you want to. But by the end of this live, by the time that our live is complete and is out for you guys as a fully recorded live, just know that that emoji slider will probably be no longer there. So that is for you guys to take in, just in case if you got curious, if you were trying to figure out where that slider went. But anyway, I hope to see you all in our next live. Thank you for being here. Love and light to you all. And as always, peace. All right. Here we go.